Hi there. I don't have to tell you, there's a lot of stress and anxiety and panic going around. You might be feeling it. People you know might be feeling it. Your colleagues, your family. It's here, right? And so what I'm going to talk about right now, very briefly, is cortisol, the major stress hormone. And cortisol is actually a very beautiful hormone because it keeps us awake, and it wakes us up in the morning, and it's actually an anti-inflammatory. However, when cortisol is spiked very high in times of stress and anxiety, it actually is diverted for the stress, and is no longer to act as the anti-inflammatory that it is. And so inflammation can begin to happen when we're consistently stressed and anxious. Uh, and the other thing to know about cortisol is that when it's highly spiked, it actually creates the loss of blood from the thinking part of our brain. And in times of real stress, it can actually push part of our brain offline, so to say, because it's the part of our brain that enables us to articulate. And that can be affected by high cortisol. And so which this means is that if your cortisol is really high, it might be harder to think, it might be harder to articulate. And so right now, obviously, it's a really good thing to be thinking clearly and to articulate clearly. So what I'm going to show you very quickly are it's really only one technique, and you've probably seen it before, but I wanted to bring in the cortisol angle because it's really important to understand how to work with cortisol. And the thing is, when we do things to reduce cortisol, we actually assist our other hormones to be healthier as well, because hormones all come from the same ingredients. So if cortisol is hogging all the ingredients, it means that the other hormones don't have what they need. So bringing cortisol into balance is one of the best things that you can do for your health. So tap on the side of your hand, if you like. This is part of EFT tapping, and just tapping on the side of your hand, doesn't matter which side, while breathing deeply, is enough to begin to reduce cortisol and feelings of anxiety and panic. And doing this for maybe about a minute or less is enough to help bring down the intensity of maybe a trigger. So maybe you feel triggered. Just breathe deeply and start tapping on the side of your hand. And putting those two things together, the tapping and the deep breath, you've got two things working to turn on the relaxation response, to reduce cortisol, to bring blood back to the thinking part of your brain, and also to boost your immunity, because tapping has been shown to increase immunoglobulins, which are, these little beautiful molecules that are in the tissues within your mouth. Okay, and so when we boost that, we boost our immunity. And when we reduce cortisol, we do good things for our immunity and for our overall well-being, for our nervous system, and for our brain. And so there you go. I really, really send my best to you and your loved ones, and I hope that you're staying well. Goodbye for now.